Hello, everybody. Welcome to We Live in Color. I'm so excited to have my guest today, Miss Briq. But before we get into my boo, I just want to really first of all, Briq is amazing. We've been family for years, so I can't wait to have her. But I do want to make sure that we take the time out to remember our community members that we lost in Colorado this past week. Um, our community members at Club Q out there in Colorado Springs, 5 of our community members were gunned down maliciously by hate. You could hear from his father speaking today that they didn't agree with gay. And we can talk a lot about gun violence. Community members can share posts of Club Q, but there are Club Qs in your community. There are community members that are walking day by day that are lesbian, bi, gay, asexual, queer, trans community members that need your help in the areas of policy change. So my question isn't just I appreciate the posts that are being shared, but my question to community council members and state representatives and mayors and governors in this very state, what are you doing to advocate for your Club Q community members? What are you doing to actually create space for safety for our trans community members, for our gay community members, and our lesbian community members? We've been screaming for safety before the gunshots, and we can't seem to find you only through June and maybe one person on your boards. But we need more than that. This is a call for safety. We can only live in color if you create policies to help advocate for that. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Briq. You're watching We Live in Color.
Will you marry me, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put this on you.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Trey Holiday. We're bringing back Black Love When We Met. That's right. We need something to warm all of our hearts and to elevate love once again in our communities. We want y'all to go to whereweconverge.com/Black Love so y'all can nominate your favorite couple for the next rendition of this show with me as the host. Let me sit down and have them on my couch and share how their love can inspire us all. Make sure y'all go and get your nominations in today and be on the lookout for Black Love When We Met coming at you on Converge Media very soon.
Within sports, you learn so many life lessons that'll help you be successful in any area that you plan to pursue. So I remember being a kid in Spokane and going to camps like this with my friends and just having a blast, and that's really when I fell in love with this game. Hopefully, we're doing the same and inspiring some of these kids to keep going on this journey.
Especially as a girl growing up, like you see a lot of boys at these camps, but like just seeing like more and more girls start at a younger age, it makes me happy.
We got to have funding, right? We cannot do this work without the necessary resources available so that our kids can thrive. Without resources, we can't see kids play and play to their potential.
How we can ensure that basketball in our communities is sustainable. Funding is a big part of it. I think working with the right groups, and this was the opportunity I think that kick-started that, and we're really excited about any opportunities to just keep moving it forward.
It was just an awesome opportunity to show what this community can do, what basketball energy they can bring. Being able to work with the Seattle Sports Commission, work with the King County Play Equity Coalition, we were able to bring big basketball energy to Tukwila Community Center and hopefully use this as a launching point and able to get more funding for them in the future.
The kids get to see me, get to see, all the rest of the guys who did it all in the area of Washington, Seattle area. So being able to give back to them and let them know that, they can chase their dreams too.
This is a fundamental right of all kids, that they have the right to play, which isn't always available to all of our kids in our communities.
We got next to ensure kids always have a place to play, compete, and have fun.
And we're back where We Live in Color. Now, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Converge Media. As you are watching this stream, please share it, because I have a legend here in the house, okay? I've known them forever, and I know y'all know them too. This is my boo. She's a brick. Ow. Latest that, and that's a fact. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, what's up, Briq?
Hi, baby.
I was so happy to like share like the flyer because I knew I could play that song, but I'm just so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
You have been doing the thing in community, and it's thrown in with healing, it's thrown in with wellness, it's thrown in with fun, it's thrown in with feeling sexy and beautiful. It's given all those things.
Yes.
How do you do what you do?
Ooh, I would say it is by the grace of my ancestors and the divine, because I don't think it's just me by myself and my community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So okay, I know about Big Briq, right? Can we talk about Little Briq?
What
How
about
did
her?
tell me about Little Briq's past? Like how I know that you from my area, right?
Yeah, CD or see me, baby.
Okay, right. So tell me how you grew up. Like you grew up in community and you were in church a lot, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Madison Valley in the Central District of Seattle, and I grew up very, very, very much intertwined and engulfed in and swallowed up by the Seattle Black Church.
And how was that? Church hurt a little bit?
Oh, yeah, it's a whole lot of that. It's a whole lot of that. Which is why I do what I do now, right? I decided to like create my own church and my own divine healing practice so that folks, no matter who they are or who they love, can experience, sensuality and sexuality and spirituality in a safe and sacred space.
So in high school, you were just really quiet and
Yeah.
sweet, right? So how did
I was like inviting people to Bible study and stuff.
right?
Yeah, I was hardcore for Jesus. Like it was like not a game.
What changed? Was that like in high school or was it a little after?
I think I've always loved to perform. I've always loved to like do public speaking and things like that. And so I just changed my focus really. I was kind of like, shy at first because the way I grew up, when you grow up and you're raised around like Black, older Southern folks, I was raised by like my great grandmother and my great aunts. When you're socialized as a woman, as a girl, you're taught to like kind of be seen and not heard and that kind of thing. So it took me a minute to be comfortable with taking up space because I was always told I was doing too much. I was moving too much. I was trying to wear too little. I was trying to, it was always some kind of critique around how I was expressing myself, how loud, just whatever. And so it took me a minute to be like, that's just who I am and it's okay. And yeah, I do draw attention and I might as well draw attention for like a really good reason, a really good cause. And so at first I thought that was like, this religious thing. And then I realized it was so much bigger than that.
Yeah. And what challenges came in between that? Because, as you're coming to your own, we're raised in this church.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know about you, but like as for me growing up, like I always felt shame in sex.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shame in myself. And
absolutely.
then like even now it's trying to get out of that. So how do you do
yeah,
it?
there's still so much shame wrapped up in our community. And so a lot of times I run into folks from our community who are very upset about the work that I do. They don't understand. They like, nah, that ain't what we do. That's that white people stuff. And I'm like, no, actually it was stolen by the white people from us, but it is ours. It is ours to have.
And what exactly is ours? So listen.
Ours, everything. Yeah. Everything is ours to have. Everything, every single thing that you somehow were lied to about that someone told you it belonged to white people, it actually belongs to us and belonged to us first. It belonged to Indigenous and Black and African folks first, always. But in particular, what we're talking about is like our spirituality and our sensuality and our sexuality, and those things not being defined by like European standards of foolishness. And heteronormativity.
Let's get into that. So coming in, right? So did you automatically just start doing these?
Oh no, child! I was like,
so let's talk about. Talk about
yeah. Oh no, child! I was like, I came in. I came in the game post my first divorce. From my husband at the time, who's my best friend now. So hi, I love you. And post my divorce from my cult, the Christian cult that I was a part of. And so it took me a long time to like figure out that everything was going to be okay, that my life was not over, because I had always been raised to just be a leader in like a Christian capacity and to be a wife in a Christian capacity. So to go against everything that I was taught and just decide to live for myself was a very big decision that took a long time to actually be okay with. It's one of those things where you make the decision, but for years you're questioning whether or not it was the right one. Yeah. But it just happened to be the right one.
Right. But, okay, so you said you had a husband. So how do you identify?
Oh, I identify as a queer bisexual human. which means that I love humans of all genders and all sexualities. And that is nowhere near in any type of binary. So folks who are in between, outside of, and on, directly on the gender spectrum, I love everybody.
On, in, and all of
Come
them.
on, period.
So when you started doing this work,
Mm-hmm.
what was that like? Because I mean, when I think about community, especially when we were growing up, like
Yeah.
white led, right?
Yeah.
What was that path like for you? I mean, I know that I've heard things, right?
Mhm.
Especially being the only Black, because
Mhm.
back in the day there was only one or two in that space. So.
Come on. Yes. Man, when I was first coming out, I was a late bloomer. So I had been friends with a whole bunch of queer folks in my youth, but I was kind of like, oh, I thought I was the straight friend, you know?
You were.
I did. I really thought I was a straight friend. I was like, mm-mm. But it was there were a lot of white spaces, but I guess they never felt white to me because who I was with was always like the Black gay folks. So I've always kind of been really intentional about surrounding myself with Black and brown folks no matter where I'm at. So if I'm going to a pretty white establishment, I'm going with a whole bunch of Negroes. Like that's how I'm rolling, you know, like I'm gonna make the party where I go. And so that's just kind of what that is exactly what I've continued to do and built my businesses on, is creating sacred space for people of color to come and be together and celebrate one another and, you know, get free.
And get free.
Get liberated.
And free we have been.
Come
right?
on.
But I love the space that you create, because I just see liberation in with community members that come in that space. And yes, I have been in those spaces. So can you let community know a little bit more about some of the spaces that you hold for community?
Okay, yes. So one of my favorite spaces that I hold is Sunday Night Sugar Shack. And that is an all people of color burlesque review. And it's the longest running all people of color burlesque review here in the Pacific Northwest. And I produce it with Sin De La Rosa at Theater Off Jackson. And it happens the second Sunday of every month. And it is an incredible show, like incredible. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary here sometime soon next year. And we're gonna do some big stuff.
Let me ask you a question just about burlesque, right?
Yeah.
Because I have Miss Pucks aplenty up in
Yeah,
here
that's
who
my baby.
sings your praises, right?
That's my baby. I love Pucks.
What is the misconception about community in burlesque, right?
Yeah.
I know me and Kia me and Miss Pucks were talking about the misconceptions of like how they're like they're not Black space.
Oh yeah, people always assume that it's like some skinny white women in feathers or something, and I'm like, that's not. I haven't seen the skinny white woman in feathers anywhere near my show in a very long time. I mean, I guess in the audience, you know. But yeah, there's this idea that it looks like that movie burlesque that had nothing to do with actual burlesque. And it's just not that. Burlesque has always been a Black practice, and it's just about us coming back to our memories, our ancestral memories, and remembering that, you know, before folks took it and ran with it, we were already doing it. They were coming to our neighborhoods and our villages and stealing our dance moves and our rituals and, you know, trying to make it something else. So we've been doing this. This is ours. It's just ours it's for us to reclaim. Everything that I do is about us reclaiming what's already ours.
That's right.
Reintroducing us.
So you got the Sugar Shack Sunday.
I got the Sugar Shack coming up the second
Sunday.
Sunday, December 11th.
Okay, so we got to do that. And then what is the second?
My other event.
Hold on, wait. I think let's save the other event.
Oh, okay, we're gonna save that
more
one.
questions that I have to ask about.
Yeah, okay, we can save that
I have to ask about the other event.
Yes. Okay.
But as you're doing this work, right? You grew up with people.
Yeah.
You grew up in church. Have you ever received like any type of pushback?
Oh, absolutely.
What have you heard?
People have torn my posters down when I put them around. People have told me that I'm racist for having an all people of color burlesque review. People have told me that it is sinful, it's wrong, that I am setting our race back, that I am making a fool of us, our people, in front of white folks, that I am, you know, just a stain, a blemish on our community, that I am, you know, holding us back.
How has that felt, especially when
I think that it's felt like a personal problem that they had, and it's not really a problem of mine. So I'm just like, oh, that's unfortunate. You don't have to be having no fun, huh? Ooh, yeah.
Family, like
family has gotten over it. I think that at this point in my life with my family, I've always kind of been this person who's just like, I am who I am, and I said what I said, and so I think family got tired of fighting with me. Because I don't lose fights. So, yeah, I think they got tired of fighting with me, and so they just had to accept it. So my grandma used to be like, "Well, she in show business, like
Say show
they kind
business.
of, they kind of just refer to it as show
Grandmas
business."
are like the best, are like the best supporters. Like
they're like the shadiest supporters, but yes, yeah. So the family just knew that I do show business, and they don't mind. I think that of course, they had different desires, but at the end of the day, they want me to be happy. They want me to be healthy, and their records ain't as clean as they'd like them to be, or as they'd like to pretend. And so I feel like really all I'm doing is expressing what's already there in our family and our bloodline. I think I come from a long line of hoes, and I just think everybody just want to hide it. I just like to talk about it.
Listen. That is a Thanksgiving conversation for your mama. Okay.
This ain't come from nowhere.
That is real.
I mean, look at this. Come on.
It's giving everything.
Ancestral inheritance.
I've never seen.
Okay?
We have a cameraman, Shaylon. I've never seen him so close taking pictures.
Hi, cameraman.
Yes. But I do want to ask you more about the second party. But we're going to ask that 1 second. We'll be right back.
Oh, we're going to be right back. Okay,
we'll be right back. You're watching We Live in Color.
Join us this holiday season at the Fifth Avenue Theater and feel the power of love overflowing with The Wiz. Filled with soaring soul and R&B songs, it's an effervescent explosion of music, dance, and magic your whole family will love. Ease on down the yellow brick road with Dorothy as she learns home isn't really where you live, it's who you love. The Wiz at the Fifth Avenue Theater, November 19th through December 23rd. Tickets at fifthavenue.org.
Will you marry me, babe?
Yeah.
Let me put this on you.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Trey Holiday. We're bringing back Black Love When We Met. That's right. We need something to warm all of our hearts and to elevate love once again in our communities. We want y'all to go to whereweconverge.com/Black Love so y'all can nominate your favorite couple for the next rendition of this show with me as the host. Let me sit down and have them on my couch and share how their love can inspire us all. Make sure y'all go and get your nominations in today and be on the lookout for Black Love When We Met coming at you on Converge Media very soon.
Habari Gani. My name is Noni Irvin, and I am the creator and founder of Kanara Park Kids, as well as the president of our sister nonprofit, Black for Charities, a 501c3 fiscally sponsored by Shunpike. Together, we are hosting the Kwanzaa Awards because it is important that we acknowledge and recognize the contributions and efforts of individuals and organizations who are showing us what the Kwanzaa principles look like throughout the year. The nomination window is open October 1st to November 30th, and yes, you can submit more than one nomination. Eligibility is simple. Individual award recipients must identify as Black, African American, or Pan-African, and organization award recipients must be 100% Black owned if for-profit or 100% Black led if nonprofit.
I'm over here sweating. We got Briq House here. I mean,
I'm good at that.
I'm just
raising the temperature.
Look, I need you to come here every Wednesday, sis.
I mean, I'm waiting for the invitation.
Listen, so we got the burlesque parties, and then can we talk a little bit about the second parties?
Oh, yes. Okay, so on top of being a burlesque performer, I'm what I love to call an erotic entrepreneur, meaning that all of my businesses are sex industry based businesses. So I'm also a sex educator, and one of my events is called Kink Social Club, and it's spelled with a Q, Q-U-I-N-K. Social Club, and it is an exploratory event. It's a play event and a play space and an educational space for people of color to come together and explore BDSM and fetishes and kink and sensuality and sexuality in a space that is free from the white gaze.
Okay. Can we define white gaze?
Oh, yes. It just means that there's no white people there except for setup and tear down.
Okay. And as a sex educator, what are some of the other things that we can learn? I think
so much.
Because I mean, I think I talked to you about this before, and I guess I'll speak personally. Like, no longer like in the spaces of using or feeling like I need to use to be sexual. I don't know how. Like, it's been hard for me.
Yeah.
So is this a great space for me to kind of learn myself?
Yeah, it's a great space to learn yourself. It's also a great space just to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have demonstrators, we have educators showing different ways of engaging in intimacy with yourself, with others, learning about different ways to love different types of lovers with different types of identity sets, and learning about STIs and how to have sex safely and with excitement and encouragement of one another. And, it's just a space where we can play and explore. We got a DJ, we got Uno, we got Jenga, and also somebody might just be, getting it on right next to the Jenga. It's really great. It's a great time.
And what is like, so how is the temperature? Like, it's like, what if you're just a person that just wants to look and not
Yes,
wants
if
to
you're a person that
participate?
just wants to look, we welcome you as long as you understand consent.
Yeah.
You're welcome. It's no pressure. That's what I love about kink.
And
I feel like a lot of spaces kind of look kind of scary, or they forget the party aspect. Kink is a party. It just has kink aspects in the party. So we be rocking. We had DJ Just Moni last time that was popping. We had DJ Queen Cage. Like, we be in there getting it.
Yes.
Getting it.
I've heard many good things about the party. It may have not once attended one myself, but at the same time,
We're gonna get you one day.
One of the things, because I think it's so great because you're a sex educator, and I have not had the conversations on here about sex work, right?
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on sex work in our community members? For our community members?
Yeah.
Because there's so many people here that I know that are in the lines of sex work, and I'm going to look at the camera and say there are some people that are in sex work and don't know that they're.
Oh, absolutely. I think also there's just some people who are in sex work who don't feel like arguing with nobody about it.
Right. Fair.
Because I think that when you tell folks you're in another industry, no one has anything to say. But as soon as you mention any type of sexuality as a part of the industry that you're in, people have all these questions as if somehow you're being taken advantage of, or you must not enjoy your work, or you must have had no other options. And that's just not the reality. And sometimes nobody has the energy to just combat ignorance all day, every day.
Yeah.
So, some folks just don't feel like talking about it. But I think that sex work is sacred work. And I think that our community really we are the blueprint, for sacred sexuality. We should be teaching, we should be engaging in intimate practices and being able to be celebrated for that and being able to be paid for that, because we are the originators. Everything came from us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I've always just found there are so many of us, right, that don't want to have the conversation about
no,
sex
not at
work.
all.
That just like, well, wait a minute, I can subscribe to the OnlyFans, but don't think it should be legalized.
Right.
What do you say to those folks?
I think that folks who engage in enjoying the labor of sex workers should also engage in fighting for the rights of sex workers. So if you want to do that from, from behind a desk, that's great. If you want to do that from, being at your job and making sure that sex workers have the same type of rights that you have in your industry, cool. Like, there's so many different ways to fight for the rights of sex workers, whether or not you want to be like out about it or not, because you're right. Some people just are not comfortable speaking directly to the matters of sex and sexuality. And at this point, I don't want to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. I just want them to make sure that they're supporting the people who are clearly offering them support, because when you are engaging with the art of a sex worker, because what we do is art, you are benefiting from that. And so there's nothing wrong with saying, yo, this is a great art form that I benefit from. Let me make sure I'm supporting this art form as it supports me.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking a little bit about the work, right? So so you do have OnlyFans as well.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So tell me how was that getting started? Because see, I'm not coordinated enough, so I can never be able to do that. I'm just always
well, I will tell you that you do not have to be coordinated to be on OnlyFans. Okay. You do not have to be coordinated. And you can do a little bit of everything. So my OnlyFans has some sexual education things on there. There's some.
What are some of the things you teach?
Oh,
should
yes.
I save it for the?
I feel like there's some things that we just can't talk about.
Oh yeah.
Because we're alive, and I want Converge to keep their platforms.
Yeah, we gonna keep that
because we love you, Converge. But there are just a lot of wonderful things on there that people can interact with and engage with. And also people there can directly ask me for advice for the things that they want to know more about. So they can get like a custom made type of thing from me. Yeah. So it's a really great place to be in contact with sex workers of all types and ask questions and learn more about the things that you might be into.
Right.
Yeah.
Get a little open.
Yeah, get a little open. I also have a website, MissBrickHouse.com.
Okay. And we will be putting that in the chat too. So, I mean, you've been doing this work for so long, and here we are. I mean, let's go to 2020.
Woo.
The pandemic happened.
Child.
How were you during that time?
Ooh, crying.
I love asking my community people that question because
I was
it's
crying. Still crying. I'm still crying from 2020.
what
okay?
was that like?
It was horrible. It was horrible. And as an event producer, I had to make some very hard decisions because I wanted to keep my community safe. But I also knew that my community needed this outlet. There are so few spaces for us to be and to enjoy ourselves and to engage in this type of spiritual practice. And so I really didn't know what we were going to do. So we had our last little events and they were great. And then we shut it down. And we stayed shut down for a very long time. I started doing much more online things. My website, I started doing more consultations, more of the virtual work, more of the video chats and the online consultations and the OnlyFans. But it was very difficult. It was very difficult.
And then coming out of that, was it a little scary?
Oh, it's still scary,
Okay.
right? You know,
Why you
everybody's still
say?
sick.
Why you say?
Everybody's still sick.
Yeah.
Right?
Define sick.
You know,
right?
everybody's still sick, whether it be with, you know, COVID or, you know, some other sickness. Everybody is still very sick. And then we have the internal sickness, right? So many people had a lot of mental health things that came to the surface. And so during this time, intimate workers are needed. During this time, you know, sex workers and sacred sensuality workers are needed because the folks are hurting. People are hurting. People are needing connection. People are needing safe and sacred and consensual touch because they've been without it for so long.
It's real.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Touch. But, you know, and another thing that I love about you too, Briq, is that you have really advocated to make sure we create space for queer and trans
absolutely.
members.
Yes.
And like that is like numero uno on the list for you.
Yes.
Not only to create space, but making sure that we're creating space for our Black and trans community.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So my angle is that I specifically attempt to create space that celebrates queer and trans people while also still being with and engaging with the rest of our Black and brown community. Because what I feel like happens is Black folks and brown folks get to kind of separate themselves from the Black and brown gaze. And I want people to understand, I want people to understand that we are all in this together. And if they start coming for one of us, they're coming for all of us. And so we can't be like, they're not gonna stop and be like, well, we're gonna hang all y'all, but not you, the straight one. Like nobody's gonna do that. Like nobody's gonna be like, oh, not you with the degree. Like that's not happening, right? So I want us to know that we have to come together as a people. So if your Black and brown event is not making space for queer folks, for trans folks, for disabled folks, for, you know, like as we continue on the spectrum, if we're not making room for all of us, then it's not really for none of us. And so I really like to make it so that we can be in the same space together and respect each other's differences. When I put out things about Kink Social Club, I let people know there will be people there of all sexualities and genders. And your job is just to enjoy yourself and to respect other people's space. You don't have to engage if that's not your jam, but you also don't have to hate. Right? It's like you can just show love. It doesn't hurt you to show love. And I really want Black folks to get past this like scary idea that if we share the same space, somehow something negative has to happen. We can all be together in love and also still be our own people and celebrate and do our own thing. Yeah.
That is realist.
Yeah.
and I think that you've created so much space and community just loves you for that. Everyone just feels so safe when Briq comes around. Hey. Everyone just knows that they can reach out to you about anything. And I appreciate you.
They do be reaching out.
Right. The reach out is real. And like this year, one of the first guests that I had on the show was our community members from Taking Black Pride. Yes. And you hosted their Taking Black Pride event this year. What was it like?
Oh my God, that event was incredible. I'm excited to host it again this year. Wink, wink, Taking Black Pride. I've hosted it 2 years in a row now. I just feel like, come on, third time's a charm. But yeah, I had so much fun. I really lost track of time because it was just so much going on. There were all my favorite people there. It was like a big family reunion. I hadn't seen people in so long because, you know, what we had been going through. And so it felt like it felt like a big barbecue.
Really was.
I just got to be on stage like waving at everybody, you know.
I had a ball. There were so many great performers that were there. And
yeah, you out there shaking it.
Yeah, but girl, I was trying to, I didn't have no weight on it. And I'm
you was throwing it back.
Yeah, I threw it up. Didn't nobody catch it though.
You in a circle. Well, if I'm around, I'll always catch it.
We'll do that next time, okay? But I just love the fact that you're just able to create space for community members. Like we have mutual friends that sing your praises. So I just appreciate you. Just
I appreciate
always,
you too.
always doing what keeps you going. What keeps you going in this work?
I think what keeps me going is my community. I think what keeps me going is my family, my ancestors, and my legacy. I feel like folks already did so much work for me to come through the door, and so if they wouldn't have laid the groundwork, then I wouldn't be here, right? So I feel like even when I'm tired, I'm laying the groundwork for something, and I know that my legacy is going to be great. I know that my enterprise is going to be great, and so I'm looking forward to setting my folks up for the future. And I think that's the thing that keeps me going, and also it's just necessary, right? I'm not doing it just for them. I'm doing it for me. I am a part of them. We are a part of one another, and so I'm doing it for me and for us. And that's enough to keep going. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop me because we don't have enough time to stop. There's so much to get done.
So much to do.
We have so much to do. People be thinking like we have gone so far, and I'm like, baby, we have so much further to go.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, ain't no time to stop. Ain't no time to quit.
I just love you. We're gonna take one more break, and we'll be back with Live in Color tributes, events. You are watching We Live in Color.
COVID-19 hurt my income, my health, and my family. We were about to lose our home when we heard we might be eligible for homeowner assistance funds from the government. We called 1-877-894-HOME, and a housing counselor stepped in, talked to our lender, and saved our home. Federal funding details at washingtonhaf.org. That's washingtonhaf.org.
Will you marry me, babe?
Yeah.
Let me put this on you.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Trey Holiday. We're bringing back Black Love When We Met. That's right. We need something to warm all of our hearts and to elevate love once again in our communities. We want y'all to go to whereweconverge.com/Black Love so y'all can nominate your favorite couple for the next rendition of this show with me as the host. Let me sit down and have them on my couch and share how their love can inspire us all. Make sure y'all go and get your nominations in today and be on the lookout for Black Love When We Met coming at you on Converge Media very soon.
A world of wonder awaits at Pacific Northwest Ballet's The Nutcracker. Treat your loved ones to the Northwest's favorite holiday tradition at Seattle Center's McCall Hall. Tickets start at $27. Visit pnb.org.
And you're watching We Live in Color. I'm still over here sweating because Briq just got me.
Meow.
I have so many questions to ask.
Oh, come on.
Briq, are you single?
Oh, that's a wonderful question.
Are you single?
I am solo polyamorous,
Okay.
but I am not single.
Polyamorous. Can you break that down for me?
Oh, it just means that I have the capacity to love more than one person at the same time. And I have the capacity to be in loving relationships with more than one person at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because see, me, I've tried that. Well, I didn't try it before, but it's how do you make it work? How does it work?
That I tried that, but I haven't tried that.
Well, it's like I tried it, and then it's like, no, I'm such a tourist, so I'm like I'm too selfish, and it's like no mine. You know what I mean? And I mean, no, I don't own anybody. No, none of that. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I just want to just tell you that you can still have someone that's yours and be polyamorous. My people are mine.
Okay.
And I'm theirs.
And
we can add folks, but
Yeah.
we still ours. Like,
And
we still have commitment.
And it's worked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Polyamory is the best thing that's ever happened to me as far as romance is concerned. Before I knew that I was polyamorous, I just thought something was wrong with me. I was like, oh my God, I am just like a terrible person.
Terrible person, like as in like
I just thought I
Okay.
couldn't, I thought I couldn't commit. I thought, there was something wrong, that I cared so deeply for people in lots of different ways. And, I thought, there must be something wrong, but really I just was polyamorous and just didn't know it. So I personally don't think that polyamory is for everybody, but I do think that it's for a lot more people than what we have been taught. So I think there are
could you give?
just as many polyamorous people in the world as there are monogamous people in the world. And my first advice would be to relax. So many people, we are taught about love in a way that kind of puts fear at the front. And so if all we're doing is like being fearful of losing someone, then love is not going to work regardless, whether that's with monogamy or polyamory, right? So it's about understanding that we deserve love, and we deserve, if we want it, right? If we want it, we deserve it. And we can have that, and we can have that in honesty and transparency and, with integrity. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
I need to write that down.
Yeah.
I like the first thing you said. I'm gonna have to rewind that back because it is hard out here.
It is hard out here. It's very hard out here, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
But I would rather, I would rather do this and it be hard, and I be living my truth and allowing other people to live their truth and not taking people's choices away than to be playing games with folks. So. I'm gonna keep living my truth.
Don't play games with folks still in there with
polyamory? Don't
polyamory?
play games with folks. It's definitely in there with polyamory, especially polyamory with the Leo. We don't play disloyalty
You're a Leo?
or dishonesty. We don't do those games. Yes, I am a Leo. Leo sun.
Now I see it.
Pisces moon, Sagittarius rising. What's up, Sagittarius season?
I see all of those.
My Venus is in Cancer.
Yep. Okay. Listen, I don't even know which ones I am, but Briq, you have like a plethora of different events going on, but I do want to make sure before we get there, we do your Living Color tribute.
Oh,
we always tribute community people who are either here or not here. Who is your tribute?
My tribute is my grandparents, in particular my great grandparents who raised me down the valley, but one in particular, my great grandmother. Oh, look at her, she's so cute. My great grandmother, Katie Burks, is the woman who raised me. She was my mother, and that is my biological mother back there in the background. She had me when she was 17, and my mom was and is still currently an addict, and so she was unable to care for me and my siblings. So my grandparents took that job over and took very good care of me and built me into this brick house that you see today. I think that all the things that you see, I got my hips from her. I got my, don't take nothing from nobody attitude. I did not suffer fools very easily at all, and I think I got that from her as well. So yeah.
Yes. Was she from here?
She was from Birmingham, Alabama, and migrated here during the Great Migration because Boeing was actually allowing Black women to take engineer jobs because the men were off at war. So she was, a history maker, and she's actually in the Boeing Museum of Flight here in Seattle. Yeah,
my grandpa too.
What?
Okay, the 737, 747. Shout out, Papa.
Oh yes.
I think that's amazing. So shout out to your grandmother.
Shout out.
And
shout
family members. Hope they get out there too as well.
Yes, everybody. All y'all.
So what's next for Briq? Briq, I know you got event. So
yeah, okay. So I got events. That's always going to be a thing, but I'm moving more towards physical things and physical spaces. So what's coming next is a inclusive bikini barista stand. So in the same way that Sugar Shack features folks of all shades and shapes and genders and all of those things, and we will have a bikini barista stand that will be doing just the same thing, So we're gonna be having a whole lot of milkshake bringing all the genders to the yard coming up real soon.
But how can we support that, right? I have never seen a Black-led barista.
Come on.
Here,
Most of the time when you see them, it's very, very skinny and white. I know.
And I'm looking at organizations like Northwest Black Coffee and Boba Coffee.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out to both of them.
Yes.
So, barista. How can we support that? How can we push the message for that?
A wonderful way to support that is just to support whatever I'm doing right now, because it all starts going back. But also I do have a GoFundMe up. I have a website. Also just hiring me to teach, hiring me to consult, hiring me to host your events. Anything like that goes towards building that dream. I've already purchased the actual coffee stand, but I call it my old lady. She needs a lot of work. Volunteering to do some construction, some design help would be helpful, some graphic design help, all kinds of things.
Folks.
We need all kind of stuff.
Okay, Rick Dimmer, a new what's up?
Okay, painters, we need everybody. We need all hands on deck because my baby needs some work.
Okay, well, we got to put that baby to work.
Yes.
And next you have a community event on the 11th?
I have the Sunday Night Sugar Shack.
Okay.
That's coming up on Sunday, December the 11th. And then Kink Miss or Kink Social Club is going to be on Sunday, December the 25th.
You said Christmas.
Kink Miss.
Okay, so how, and that's at an undisclosed location, but we can be able to.
It's a private location, but you'll get information about it when you buy the ticket. And you can buy that ticket on msbriqhouse.com.
And your OnlyFans.
And my OnlyFans. Also, I'm Goddess Briq House on literally everything. So on LinkedIn, on OnlyFans, on Instagram, it is Goddess BRIQ HOUSE. You can also just Google Briq House because I am Googleable now. And
I'm
you'll just-
Googleable.
Period.
Googleable.
Period. Poo.
I am so happy that you're here, and I don't celebrate Thanksgiving with the pilgrims and stuff.
Yeah, no,
but I am
we're not doing
thankful,
that.
right?
Mhm.
So can I just ask you, what are you thankful for?
Oh, yes. I am grateful for another chance to get it right. I think that I have done a lot of things and made a lot of mistakes to make it here to this place. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I had another chance to figure it out and try again. And I'm going to do the best that I can with this chance that I got now.
Giving you the best
Period.
that I got. Well, I appreciate you
Oh, I
so much, and
appreciate
I'm
you
thankful
too.
for you. I'm thankful for the people that are out there in the background. Shaylon, Curtis, appreciate y'all.
Hey,
Because
y'all.
I literally be doing last minute stuff, and I just appreciate them like helping me in the space. But I'm so happy that you're here. Anything that you need from We Live in Color to Converge, just please let us know.
Oh, I
you know how
will.
much we love you.
You know,
here.
I'm gonna come knocking on the door. You know,
So
I always
you
got
let
something
us-
on my sleeve.
You let us know. You
Oh,
make
I
sure you
will
give me the
be.
flyers for the next couple of events, and we'll be sharing that. And just thank you very much for helping community members feel liberated, right?
Thank you for inviting me here.
Yes,
Thank you.
well-
I appreciate you, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy for your show. Look at you, baby.
Listen.
Look at you. You just
It's
so
a it's a Rainier Beach
handsome.
thing, but they
And
don't
you're so
know.
smart. They don't know about these
They don't
Vikings. We out
know.
here.
They don't know.
We out here. We were destined for greatness. Truly,
Yes.
truly. Shout out
And
to
see,
Rainier
that's
Beach.
a whole different story.
Yes,
But-
exactly.
but
We're
I-
gonna have to have like a little Rainier Beach reunion. Now that would be hilarious.
Right.
That's
See,
gonna be good.
That's next year.
But we need to do. No, I'm saying we need to do one like on Converge.
On Converge? You know,
would
I'd be ready for that.
That would be hilarious.
We would have a great debate, and we would
Yes.
be clowning each other. But
It would be so good.
but I love you, and thank you so much for being here. And I want to thank you, viewers. Tomorrow, people are giving thanks. I'm just thankful for all of you for watching. Next week, we will. HIV awareness, the World HIV Awareness Day, World HIV Day is December 1st, but we will be talking to some community members who have survived, who are here, and some who are not. It's really important for us to continue that conversation. Remember, we live to love and we live in color. Have a great
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.